SGC here, and we're back with a movie review. The Martian. Directed by Ridley Scott, this movie stars front and center Matt Damon, Jessica Chastain, Kristen Wiig, Jeff Daniels, Michael Peña, Kate Mara, Sean Bean, Sebastian Stan, Aksel Hennie, and Chiwetel Ejiofor. And everyone else? Check down below. And a tidbit here is that the screenplay was actually written by Drew Goddard, the guy that brought us Cabin in the Woods. Whoa there. Anyway, so what's this film about? Well, basically, it's about Matt Damon being an astronaut who is presumed dead and left behind on the planet Mars. And he fights to survive his situation, and then people try to figure out how to save him, how to help out people on Earth. It's just like, we gotta do this, do that. People that left him behind, they gotta do this and do that. And that's basically the entire film. So yeah, also this was based off of the same name, The Martian, by Andy Weir. And down below I have a link to my WordPress review, so if you want to read rather than watch or listen, check that. And also a reminder, I always put out more reviews on that site faster than I put stuff on YouTube. Anyway, yeah. So what did I think? Well, first off, Ridley Scott. I think this, comparing the last few rounds you step behind the director's chair or on the director's chair, it's been kind of iffy. I mean, Exodus, I didn't do a review of that yet. I should, but I haven't. That was kind of like, eh. Counselor was just like, really? Prometheus was visually cool, but I don't know what you're doing with that plot. But finally here we have something that is enjoyable, but not Ridley Scott. He deserved all his fame, sort of like epic grand scale-ness. But yeah, the film was enjoyable. Thank you for bringing that. So yeah, again, Ridley Scott delivers on the visual front here. The landscape shots on Mars is believable, despite the fact that you know it's not on Mars. But you're like, you go with it, it's authentic, and it's just great. The spaceship stuff, the shuttle, the plantation that he lives on, all look awesome. Sciencey. I think only downfall is probably on Earth, where everything is just pretty boring on Earth. And it's all driven by dialogue, and there's nothing really substantial that actually happens visually on Earth. Because, I mean, it's all offices and people in offices and tons of people. So, there's that. Now, in terms of the people, Matt Damon, I would say, was cast well. Despite the fact that it feels like this is a pseudo prequel to Interstellar. Because, I mean, what are the chances of him cast in that film and being stranded on some alternate dimension thing, and he's stranded on Mars here? Whoa. But anyway, he did a good job. He did the snarky, like, douchebag sort of like cockiness, and then at the same time scramble, I'm just trying to really survive, and frustration and stress, and there was a lot of authenticness behind his portrayal of his astronaut character. Now, in terms on ground control, Ejiofor and Jeff Daniels plays front and center of the people who are in charge of bringing him home. And I really like the contrasting sort of like style. Like Jeff Daniels like played off as a very like horrible person. He's there for like the money, but he's still trying to bring him home, but he's trying to be like the PR guy. Ejiofor is like the guy that's like, I'm just caring about these people. I'll do whatever I need to do to get them home. And obviously you can say Sean Bean sort of does that as well, but Sean Bean is really the same person the entire film. Like, he's just angry, and he's like, you gotta bring my people home. I got this. I know them better than you do, sort of thing. And it gets dry and boring. Kristen Wiig plays her own sort of thing. From what I heard, that she does play the character that's written in the book, but at the same time, it's like, ugh, Kristen Wiig. She plays that character all the time, so why don't you just cast somebody else or change it up? Because, I mean, it is a book adaptation. You don't have to be like super 100% adapted, because, you know, change some stuff here and there, and she's not really that important of a character, so you could have totally changed her character up and played some more serious drama Kristen Wiig that I've seen recently, and that's kind of cool as well. Now, the people on the shuttle thing, spaceship, we have Michael Peña, who really is cool and great in the sense of all his humor. The screenplay was written well in terms of, like, when he does his humor thing, it's not very, like, forceful, but rather it's, like, you can really see he's trying to cut the tension and just really make people feel better. And then we have Kate Mara, who is a techie young girl eye candy on the flight. And she holds her own. I mean, she looks comfortable, but it's not like, oh, amazing acting right there. We also have Aksel Hennie, who's totally forgettable. They try to set him up as like a stereotypical, I mean, Hungarian bomb guy, or he's a chemist or something. And then Sebastian Stan, he doesn't really bring much to the table either, though they really shoot him in a way where it feels like there's some character development that just maybe was left on like the cutting room floor that didn't come to the big screen. Because it just feels like there's some shots where you feel like there's going to be some character stuff that he's going to say, but it never comes out. And then lastly, we have Jessica Chastain. She looks like Jessica Chastain as always, but she can't really deliver in terms of being the leader of this force, and it's just too bad because she didn't really have that presence. Felt very forceful in her portrayal of the captain commander of this group, and also she has the most awkward like lines and acting when something like Abba was mentioned, and it was just like, wow. So yeah, I mean, all in all, the acting, which is dead center on Matt Damon, is spot on. It's enjoyable there. The tension is there. It's like, if you haven't read the book, it's like, whoa, what's happening? And then you just like see the science stuff behind it. It's like, it's just like, whoa, he survived that long. Is he gonna last the entire way, sort of thing? You know, this thing that goes on in your mind. So I mean, as a plot thing, it's good. It's like cool and all, and also it's not the whole like, oh, he's on Mars, it's a one-man show sort of thing, but rather there's a lot of cutting back between Mars, the shuttle, and NASA. So there's a lot of like narration, character dialogue happening here. So it ain't Interstellar for sure, where it's just the shuttle guys. So that's a sort of like a relief. And I would say people be comparing it to Interstellar and Gravity, and I would not do it here. Rather, I praise for the fact that these films exist, that we have more space realistic films out there, not just huge, you know, far, far away galaxy sci-fi, even though I'm totally down for Star Wars Episode 7, but I'm just saying, like, more down-to-earth sort of, like, science-y films that's dealing with space. I appreciate that, and I think Interstellar and Gravity paved the road, sort of, like, reminded of people, like, how space films could be like, and good or bad, what have you, but I'm happy those films exist. Anyway, so yeah, it was enjoyable. Would I recommend it? I mean, it looks pretty, so definitely got that. Matt Damon is great. Good, great, good, great. But yeah, so what I heard is that this book was adapted really well. So if you had read the book and you felt that maybe visually it would be stimulating, it is a lot more compared to the book, from what my buddy said. He read the book and he's like, yeah, there's a lot of things you feel like it's visually done a lot better rather than in your own head, because you can't really imagine everything because you're not an astronaut. So the film helps you in that aspect. So if you have read the book, so you can still give this movie a chance. It's not one of those adaptations like, oh, totally different, or that if you read the book you don't need to see the movie sort of thing. So all in all, it was enjoyable. Go check it out. It's another space thing. Always support that stuff. Anyway, so that is all for this movie review. If you have seen The Martian, leave your comment down below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And that is all for this movie review for The Martian. Out!